Good morning to the Successful Salon Team Training Room. I hope you are all well. Where's the sun gone? I've just looked out in the garden to let the dog out and it's raining. Like, what? However, does mean beast mode on. And that weather's not nice out there. Everyone's in and they're working. So I'm going to be working with someone very special today, helping her to grow her business, grow her Instagram. So if you're in the room, give me a hey, a hands up, a hi, I'm here. Let me know who's around. It's nice to see all of your faces. Morning, Dolly. So one of the things, morning, Jackie, one of the things I get told a lot when I'm speaking to salon owners is, oh, I don't have the money to spend on educating myself on social media. Now, my answer to that is stop drinking the £5 a day coffee from Starbucks and start investing it and growing your social media. And then I get told, oh, I just don't have the time. Social media takes far too much time. I just don't have that. And then I say to them, do you know what? Stop watching bloody EastEnders and start investing your time on your social media. And then I get the excuse of, oh, but the kids, I've got kids and they take up loads of my time too. And at that point, I'm done. I'm out. Don't work with me because you're not taking this serious enough. You know, you are crushing your dreams and those children are suffering because you are not reaching your goals and dreams in life and you're procrastinating, which means they are not getting the opportunity to travel and learn important business acumen too. So you heard yesterday how important it is to get this right. I said to you about not posting for a month and how I lost 300 clients. 300 prospective clients disappeared off of my social media because I hadn't posted for a month in that experiment. So I'm on an absolute bloody mission to kick your asses into getting shit done, understanding what you're working with and how to grow your social media. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. Good morning, everybody. Sandy, Genevieve, Heather, Deanna, good morning, everybody. And we are going to dive deep into, now you're going to have to forgive me here. How do you pronounce your name?
Sukhjeet.
Sukhjeet, okay. I am no good. I'm dyslexic. So I would have said Sukhjeet. So not too far away, but I wouldn't have said it right. So I had to ask. So Sukhjeet. Okay, so you have, tell everybody a little bit about the business that you have.
So I've got a beauty salon. I work on my own, and I want to try and focus more on the skin and stuff. I do a lot of waxing, but the aim is to go more towards the skin and start looking after people's skin and educating people on looking after it. But I also work as a hair and makeup artist, in which I can be out of the house at 2-3 o'clock in the morning and then still go in and do a full day's work in the salon. Some days it's crazy. I've done 2 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Wow, that's dedication. But I suppose we were just talking backstage about how your world is very, very different to ours in terms of Indian weddings and English weddings, and that the girls, the brides have to be out the house by 8 a.m. and it takes about 3 hours. But what I love about what you do is that you are like, no, it's premium time. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning, girls, premium time. I'm doing 3 hours work on you and I'm going to bloody charge for it. So roughly for hair and makeup, how much do you charge for wedding hair?
For the bridals, about 500.
Yeah. And girls, you know, anyone that's doing wedding hair that's listening to this, you know, any of you that have spoken to me and you know my business, I don't hold anything back. I'm warts and all. You know, a bride in my business is 250 quid minimum. I charge £100 to have a trial with us. So she's spending 350 quid on her hair for her wedding day. And that's without bridesmaids, that's without mothers, anybody else. That is just her. And I think we need to be charging for this stuff. You know, we're leaving the salon. I mean, you're working at 2 a.m. That's absolutely crackers. But I see so many hairdressers charging like 60, 70 quid for wedding hair. And I just think, what are you doing? Honestly, that's the hourly rate of a cut and finish.
Yeah.
And wedding hair is so much more than that. It's, you know, the dream of their life, and it needs to stay up. And in your case, Jesus, like, we're in England, our brides typically around 2 o'clock in the afternoon are getting married. So our hair is having to stay up from 2 till about midnight. Yours is, I'm assuming, going from 8 a.m. till midnight.
Yep. And they've got the heavy scarf on top of it as well, which they've got to carry all day long as well, from 8 a.m. till midnight.
Do they? God, that must, like, really, there's so much jewelry, and is that all really heavy as well?
Yeah, can be, yeah.
And are you used to wearing that, or is that?
we all wear absolutely loads of jewelry. It has to be a blinged out event. The outfits are all blinged out, so it's all pretty much it's all about attention to detail. So everything's got to be coordinated. Turn it around. My husband's just found a photo of one of my brides that I'd done in the past. He's going to put it behind me. Turn it round that way.
Oh,
so this is a typical. So she would be like that all day long.
Like, I want an Indian wedding. It just looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never been to one. So if there's any Indian ladies that are getting married and would like to invite me, I would love to come to an Indian wedding because it just looks stunning. And as an English person going to an Indian wedding, how would we dress?
So a lot of people wear Indian outfits now. They'll buy an outfit, or they'll borrow an outfit from someone and have the jewelry and stuff. So it is about, with our weddings, it's not just about the bride being dolled up. It's about all the guests wanting to be dolled up as well.
I love it.
So you have all the immediate families, and then some people just like to doll up regardless of whose wedding it is. So we'll get all sorts of customers there.
Oh, I love that. And a lot of girls get their makeup and things done too that are going to the wedding, don't they, by you?
Yeah.
It's just an all-out event. Like, I really want to come to one if anyone's watching. So one of the things that's actually kicking off in my brain is, if you want to learn how to do really amazing wedding hair, I think we need to go learn from an Indian wedding hair specialist, because if their hair is staying up for that long, and the styles that you ladies produce are just phenomenally out of this world, and having to hold on to heavy scarves, I think, you know, by having an Indian wedding hair expert teach you and coach you, if you want to go into that sector, then that's a very, very smart move to make. But let's crack on with what we're here to actually do and have a look at your Instagram. So I'm going to share my screen, so you'll be able to see your Instagram in front of you. If you have any questions, please ask. Guys at home, if you have any questions, please drop them in the box. When I finish sharing the screen, I'll come back and have a look at them and answer those for you. But we're going to really, really work on your Instagram now and have a look at how to maximize the potential for you. Right. Okay. So here is your Instagram page. So I'm going to just start by looking at what I'm seeing straight away. So the first thing I notice is your profile picture. Do you have a logo for your business?
I do for the salon side, but I've never thought about doing one for the makeup side.
Okay, I would probably suggest having the same logo so that people can see that you're part of the other page as well, so that we have the same consistent branding, same consistent message, so people don't get lost. They just know that they're on your makeup page or they're on your laser clinic page. So looking at I'm loving the fact that you've got the emojis in your bio before you've written what you've got. I think you could do some work on what you've got lined out in your bio. So owner of, is that Saja?
Saja Beauty, yeah.
Saja. So owner of Saja Beauty. Then we've got your positioning where you are with the pin. Now, if you look further down, it doesn't actually show it on here, but on the phone, it actually has your address on it, which most people are using their phone to view this. So your address does actually show up on there. So I'd remove that line and use that as real estate for something else. Beauty treatments, bridal hair and party makeup. I would go back a few weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, I did a session on a Wednesday in the group about bios and how to really make them sexy. So I'm going to suggest you go back into the group and find that and do some work on what to write in those lines, because really we want to be selling ourselves. There's 5 lines there in order to really, really sell yourself.
Okay.
Phone number, brilliant. Must have that there. Love that you've got your email address there. Snapchat. Does anyone contact you via Snapchat?
No.
So again, take that off and use that for something else. So it might read stylist to every beautiful Indian bride, or stylist to Indian brides in Leicester, maybe. Okay, so you're positioning yourself as who you are and what you do. The whole of those lines should be about who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Okay.
All right. This link here is taking you straight to your Facebook page. Do you have a website?
It's just under construction, so it should be done soon.
Okay, so when the website's live, I would put your website there.
Yep.
Down here, where you've got your highlights, I would have a cover photo over these, and you can do these one of 2 ways. If we jump on, I'm just going to quickly show you the obsessions one, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. So if you have a look here, you'll notice that the highlights are very consistent.
Okay.
Okay, I've taken the little sort of emblem of my logo and I've used it, blown it up and used it across here, because that's what we're known for. All right. And you'll see that I've got obsessed with detail, eradicating bad hair days, our phone number, our website, our address. Okay, and actually that website, there's a little bit for me to go away and do. That website can come off because it shows up down here. So that's wasting a whole line of real estate that I can be using to promote my brand, my business. So I need to change that. Then I'm looking at your photos. Now, the first thing that comes up to me, excuse me, is the mess in the background of the pictures. So I would either position these girls somewhere else where there isn't stuff around the back, or if you can't, blur the background out. If you look at, I've just picked up this it's Indian wedding hairstyles _SV. If you look at what they do, they blur out. Can you see all of the backgrounds are blurred?
How do you blur them out then?
So you use portrait mode on your iPhone camera.
Okay.
All right. And when you do that, it brings the person to the front of the image and the back of it is blurred. Okay. And then that makes, if you look here, I mean, this is a brilliant account. The hair and the bride is the absolute main focus of everything, every single picture. And that's what we need to get yours to.
Yep.
All right. So like here, it's all blurred. Here, it's all blurred. Everything's all blurred out. And if you look at the way that they style this, you'll notice that every picture is a close-up of the bride, either her face or behind with the back of her hair. And that's the focus of the photo. Whereas when we look at yours, I'm looking at, see this one here, I'm looking at the lady and then the blue boxes either side. Here, I'm looking at the lady and then the back of this chair. Here, I'm looking at the lady and then this box here and this box here. So it takes your focus away from what you do. And that picture that your husband just showed us,
yep,
you're obviously able to take some really amazing photos.
that's a professional photo.
Okay, so a little trick that I do, and this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
A little trick that I do is a week before the wedding, I reach out to the wedding photographer. So I ask the bride, who is your photographer? And I actually asked her makeup artist as well, because I don't do makeup. And the makeup artist, so that I can collaborate and work with her on timings before we get there, so the bride doesn't have to deal with all of that. It's done behind the scenes and she's got a stress-free day. But the photographer, so that I can find out who he is, what style of work he does, what time he's turning up, again, so it doesn't stress the bride out, but also so I can build a connection with him. Once I've done the hair, I ask him, would you possibly mind taking a photo of the hair so that I can see how it shows up on camera? Because I want to make sure that there isn't little bits that my eye can't see that the camera's going to pick up, that's going to distort the pictures moving forward. No photographer is ever going to say no. When he takes that photo, I just very cheekily say to the bride, do you mind if I have that photo afterwards? Because that was absolutely stunning. And like, that's just really made my heart smile. And they will always give you the photo. So that's a real cheeky way of getting all the content. Another way is to say to your bride, tag me in some of your photos when you upload them onto Facebook or wherever you're uploading them to, because I would love to be able to share the images of your wedding day on my social media, if we've got some really nice close-ups of the hair. And 9 times out of 10, she'll make sure that there are close-ups of the hair. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I wouldn't have on this page these pictures, because
I'll get rid of that.
Yeah, this needs to be all about the bride. And I think what you've tried to do here is you've combined in both of your businesses, and then you've decided after posting this, actually, I need to separate these. So you've done the right thing. We just need to remove these ones. And then I think the story behind what you do, I think you're in a beautiful position where, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here. You're in a beautiful position where you're selling a love story. You know, anyone that comes across your page is about to get married. They're all loved up. They're all in that lovey feeling of like excitement. What's my day going to be like? How's it going to unfold? What am I going to look like? How do I want my makeup? This is the best and biggest day of my entire life. And I think you need to sell your page as a love story. Okay. So for instance, if we were to, let's just pick a picture. Okay, so this one here, if you were to put a caption, so what you've got on there at the moment is my beautiful bride from this summer. Such a pleasure to do you up for your big day. Thank you for trusting me. And that's a lovely thank you message to your bride, but it's not going to get me to want to read the rest of that or hang around on that picture. I just want to see the picture. I don't really want to necessarily read any of the words. It's not pulling me in. If you was to put something like, I don't know, this is just coming out of my head, so it may come out very awful, but something like, I see you, my prince, ... and then tell the love story of how they met. So you almost interview your brides and you tell the love story. That would get people wanting to read it. Okay. So caption in the first line something that makes them want to read the rest of it, and then you line break down and have the rest of the love story that, you know, anyone getting married is wanting to read love stories at that moment in their life. You know, they want to know what's the story behind this bride and what's the story behind that bride. So I would use that as a theme on your social media account, that you tell the love story, but you are selling the love story because it will move people to follow you. And you capitalize in on that. You know, if the wedding is in a really amazing place, tell the story of that, but keep it all around love. And the brides will tell you, when you're working with them, just ask them, you know, how did you guys meet? What's the story behind this? I'd really love to showcase you on my Instagram page. They will love being part of that, because then they feel like they're part of something, which means they would want to share your post. I would also, when doing an onboarding with them, so the first time you meet, find out the love story, you're finding out all the things like their mobile number and all that kind of stuff. Ask them for their Instagram name, and ask them for their Facebook name, so that you can firstly find the pictures on Facebook after the wedding and reach out and say, can I use these? But secondly, you can tag her in the pictures that you've taken on Instagram so that she shares them on hers, which means any of her friends and family that are getting married, because like lots of girls, there becomes like an age, isn't there, where girls start getting married and then all their friends are getting married. Do you have a hairdresser? Do you have this? Do you have that? She will then be doing the heavy lifting for you and marketing your business for you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Have you got any questions for me?
How do you do the hashtags? What do you do with it? It's just getting the right bits out there.
So
and when do you post?
Okay, so your Instagram will tell you when to post. If you have a look at your insights, so if you go over to, I don't actually think, I'm just going to share my screen again quickly. I don't actually think I can do it. Ooh, let's have a look. I'm just going to see if I can get insights up. No, I can't do it on here. On your phone, if you go to the three, there's like 3 lines at the top of your right-hand side on your phone.
Yep.
Click on that. It will have a drop-down menu and you'll see something that says Insights. If you click on Insights, it will have 3 tabs: Audience. I can't remember what the other 2 are off the top of my head.
Content and Activity.
Okay, so Audience will tell you when your audience is online, at what times and what days are most full of your followers. So that will give you an indication of when to post. For instance, mine is 9 o'clock at night, which I think is very strange, but it's obviously the time that, you know, the English people are back from work, they've sat down, they've had their dinner, they've opened their phone and they've started to scroll. So I post at 9 o'clock. My busiest day is on a Thursday. So if I was only able to post once a week, it would be 9 o'clock on a Thursday. All right. So Instagram actually tell you when to do that. Committing to whatever you can achieve. So if you can only do once a week, commit to once a week, say on a Thursday at 9 o'clock, because the Instagram algorithm loves consistency and it will reward you for that. So always be consistent in your posting. Your hashtags, I don't really understand enough about Indian weddings, so I'm just going to ask a few questions, because for me, we use local hashtags because I'm trying to get local people off their phones and into my bricks and mortar building. So for Indian weddings, do you travel out a lot? Because I've got one salon that I know, she travels all over the world. People fly her out. And is that what happens for you?
Yep.
So, okay, so you're not going to be really focusing on local hashtags. You're going to be looking for, in fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. A bit sneaky. Okay, there's your hashtags. Indian wedding, traditional look. I don't know whether this Marthaman look, whether that means
something. That's a specific South Indian look.
Right, okay. So maybe tag that in. Any of these, oh, clicking over there, any of these hashtags on here is what I would be looking at. So Indian wedding hairstyles, find a Instagram account that is doing it really, really well and look at what hashtags they're putting on. Okay, she's using the same ones every time. So Indian wedding, hairstyles for Indian girls, I would put there. Indian bride, Indian girls, Indian bride hairstyle. And then think about all the places that you want to work. And I would start hashtagging those as well. You can have up to 30 hashtags in a post.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go down a bit further and see if she's changed her hashtags. No, she uses the same ones every time. So she's really showing up. Indian makeup, I would put on there as well. And then the wedding gowns, do they have specific names?
No.
Okay, so just Indian wedding gowns. And then if you've got a specific Indian type of look that you're working for that has a name, I would hashtag that as well.
So the different cultural weddings that we have, like Sikh weddings, Hindu wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important that you stay consistent and show up a lot on those hashtags, because anyone looking, I want them to see a lot of your work.
Yep.
So yeah, and what was the other question? When do you post, what do you post, and hashtags?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Covered it. Do you have any other questions?
It's more, I think more I want to focus on is the salon side of stuff, is getting the salon bits right and the local stuff. So I get the local clientele.
Okay. So with the salon stuff, you're so for me, I live in Ramsgate. So I've looked at all the local hashtags, and we've got like Ramsgate Tunnels, Ramsgate Beach, Ramsgate Harbour, Ramsgate itself, Ramsgate Town. So I show up on all of those hashtags. I also use hashtags like Ramsgate Slimming World, because anyone that is going to Slimming World wants to make a change to their appearance. At some point, they're going to want to change their hair. So I make sure I show up on those hashtags so that I'm always in their mind. So you might want to choose that. Any gyms, if you've got any dermalogica places around, because I know you do a lot with skin and pigmentation. If there are any other businesses that do that as well, see what hashtags they're using and where they're showing up, and show up in the same place. And again, writing compelling stories. So over on the salon page, I would tell the story behind the client who's getting the skin done. What was her reason for coming to see you? You don't have to name her, but take out, so if it's sun damage, take out the sun damage element. So maybe put the first line as, your mother never educated you in sun cream. What a shame. That's like a, whoa, what do you mean my mother never educated me? Or just, in fact, I would just put, your mother never educated you, ... And they go, what do you mean my mother never educated me? Like I'm going to read the rest of this because you're wrong. And then you write, sun cream is the most vital for aging skin because, and then go into an educational piece on how we use sunscreen, why we use sunscreen, what it prevents. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Slimming World, great tip, Jennifer. You're welcome. Don't tell anyone else. We are live across 2 channels and going to be in YouTube as well. So I think the world's just going to figure that out. Or live photo on Android. Thank you for that, because I have no idea how to do Android. So if any of you are listening, wanted to know how to blur out the background on a photo, then on an iPhone, it's the portrait mode. And on Android, it's a live photo. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all with that. You've all got some great tips there through going through somebody else's Instagram page, which is why I really like to do this, because everyone will be going, yeah, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. The caption writing is so important. You can have all the lovely pictures in the world and they will look at your photos, they will. But if you don't have a compelling caption, they won't read and find out what you're about, and you don't have any opportunity to sell your business. So it's something that you really need to nail and get right. That's how you convert clients. Okay, it's not from putting up pretty pictures, it's selling yourself in the words that you put with the pictures. So if you don't know how to do that and you want to learn, I have a caption creation course running on Monday. It's 45 quid, it's on Zoom, it's from 5 till 8. And just drop me a message, give me a hands up, let me know, drop me an inbox and let me know that you want to join, and I will send you out invoice and all the details for anyone on the call that wants to get involved and come over and join us. I may even let you all bring a glass of wine with you on Monday night if you all behave. Because I think you're going to need it, because like with the Find Your Sue course, I'm blowing your bloody minds. So to those of you that are on that, I will see you on Monday. For those of you that want to join, drop me an inbox, get involved, and I'll get you on the call on Monday. And for those of you that I will see tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow. We are diving deep with the most fun woman I have met in a very, very long time. Her name is Action Amanda. She's even stored in my phone as Action Amanda because she really is an action taker. And we're going to dive deep into how she took her business from her living room all the way around the world and back again, and how she's now transformed her life and is running a happy business that she absolutely loves and enjoys. So tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock and listen to that. I will see all of you over there, and have a great day. So Jeep, thank you so much for sharing a few hours, or nearly half an hour with us this morning. I really appreciate that. I love this. I'm going to be doing more of this, I think, because I really love diving deep into people's Instagrams and giving them those golden nuggets to take away and go and change their business. Until tomorrow, take care. I will see you all then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jennifer. Bye.
Bye.